Today we're going to learn about teams on Ravetree. So I'm on the teams page, and I can get to it from right here. So you can see that I've already created some teams, and each team gets its own card. But let's look at what it's like to create a team. So I'll give it a name, new team, and each team can also have its own workflow. So I can click here to pick a workflow that I've already created. So here's another one, another workflow that I created called for software development. And what you'll notice is that each phase is in one of 4 categories. Okay, so we have active, completed, halted, and canceled. So for this software development workflow, we have 4 phases in the active category. So we could also create our own workflow, new workflow, and we could go over here and say, call this one new phase, and then we'll do another phase, get that one blue, and then we'll say yet another phase. We'll make that one green. Okay, so maybe I messed up the order, so I can just drag and drop and move it around to change the order of the phases. And this matters when we look at our team board coming up in a second. So completed, we could call this one done, and we're just going to have one completed phase, although we could have as many as we want. Halted, we'll call this one stopped, and we'll make it pink. And then completed, or I'm sorry, cancel, we'll call this one canceled. Make it dark red. Okay, and then we click save, and then we've got our workflow. But let's go ahead and continue down here. So a team can either be Kanban or Scrum. And if it's a Kanban team, you can put in your WIP limit, your work in progress limit. It defaults to being 5, but you can change it. Or we could be a Scrum team. And of course, a Scrum team would be the type to choose if you are using sprints. And to add members, you just go here and you just search for members and just add them accordingly. And just add as many as you want, of course. And you click save. But let's go ahead and look at an existing team. So we've got this engineering team. So let's go check out this team page. And you'll notice that each team has a few different sections. So engineering team, we default to the board. And you'll see that we've got this team backlog here on the left. So think of the team backlog as all the items in your to-do list for this team. These are the items that we have decided to take ownership of. So here we've got a task, but they haven't yet been started. So over here, we can see that we've got this real simple workflow. We have one active phase called in progress, one completed phase called done, one halted called on hold, and then one canceled phase called canceled. So you can also see the WIP limit. So we've actually got 4 out of 10, so we'd set a higher limit there. And we can drag our cards around. So this is a task. Here we've got a support ticket. Here's a user story. So we can put on here whatever work item types we like. But whatever they are, each one of these cards is some type of work item. Okay, so let's look at a couple things here. So Chris, let's say that we decide, he doesn't need to be assigned to this. So I just click here and give it to Allison. Real simple. If we've assigned story points to our work items, if that's how we chose to size them, then you can see here we've got 1 story point. Here we've got 8. But we don't have to use story points if we don't want. I can see the due date and some other information. I can also go over here and edit, copy, or delete this work item. So I can look around the board a little bit. You can also create some filters. So you can click it right here, and you can create some really powerful filters. So let's view some that we've already created. This is all of my work items. So maybe I don't want to see all work items for the whole team. I only want to see mine. So I can run that filter, or maybe I want to see all high priority work items. So I can create whatever I want, save it, and here's some filters that I already created. So high priority, so we'll run that one, and we should see all high priority items, which we do. So that's the board page. Now you'll notice that we also have this backlog section. Okay, so let's click here. So we're still in the engineering team page, but the backlog section. And what you see here is a split page. So on the left, we have the main backlog. Okay, so this is everything at the company that has not yet either been assigned to a team or that's not finished. So each gray bar here represents a project. And then we can see the work items within the project. So here we have an epic, and then we've got a couple user stories. And we can scroll down and see some other items. I can drag these around and change the priority. I can even drag the projects and change the priority. Okay, so on the right we have the team backlog. So once we decide that this team wants to take ownership of something, for example, this item, we just drag it and drop it over here. And that way we know it's no longer in the team backlog, so another team won't take ownership of it. We have taken ownership of it, the engineering team. Okay, so we've just got one item here, but if we had more than one item, we could easily just drag and change the priority if we want. So we've also got this members section. I can see all the team members. So this is, obviously a really large team. Most teams probably won't be this big. And then we've got some reports. Okay, so different reports over here that you can run. All right, well, that's Teams on Ravetree.